New Testament would sin before the Most High. 34, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, I'm thinking, right, Galatians, the 3rd chapter, where it speaks about the Jews first, those history, and you don't know how to bring this book together, you're going to be lost. That's why you got guys to this day that are teaching, they come across the word Gentile in the New Testament, all of a sudden it's talking about someone outside of the nation of Israel. Those Gentiles, like Romans the 11th chapter, anywhere it says Gentiles is talking about Israelites. When it speaks about Cornelius in Acts, the 10th chapter and 11th chapter, it's talking about Israelites. Cornelius was the Israelite.
I made a statement about the land of Israel always being waste. Well, here's the prophecy. Again, prophecy. Ezekiel, and one of the nations, one of the countries or corporations that's going to destroy Israel. Yeah, one of the corporations that's going to destroy Israel is Russia. You know? It's off? Okay. Well, you brothers on the comment board, let us know if we're still streaming live. You know, every now and then, just let us know you're hearing it, you're seeing us. Ezekiel 38:8, it says, after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years, thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out many people against the mountains of Israel. Here's the point, which have always been waste. So even though you built up Rothschild Boulevard, you built up Tel Aviv, Pink City and all that, in the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that land has always been waste, ever since the tabernacles were destroyed after 70 AD. That land has always been waste. All right? I believe they had something called the kibbutz, where they actually brought in plants and trees, and right, because that land is cursed, because you don't belong there. You so-called Jews that call yourself Jewish, you don't belong there. That's not your land. That's one of the reasons why that land is cursed. Now, when we come back there, it tells us in the prophecy the trees are going to bud and flourish. The grass is going to flourish. You know, the land is going to become like the Garden of Eden, right? Like it says in the prophecy. So again, that's something Mr. White from Alpha and Omega Ministries will not teach, because he doesn't know about prophecy. He's not a prophet, right? You got it, brother.
Yeah, and once the real Israelites get into their land, there's not going to be any more wars around the world. You know, that's another way you know that those gutter rats are not Israelites. You know, they claim to be Israelites through a conversion that happened during the Khazarian Empire, but that don't make a convert doesn't. When you convert to a religion, that does not make you that the nation of those people. You know, because a religion, you know, is not how you become a nationality. The nationality is based off of your fathers, who your fathers are. Now, this is going back to the Israelite foreigner topic. This is in Ezekiel 37:18. It says, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, well, thou not, I'm sorry, I'll read up above that, verse 15. Ezekiel 37:15. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for their children, for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Why? Because, you know, you had a separation. When you go back into the history, there was a separation between the nation of Israel. They became two nations, separated one from the other. You know, that's where you had the southern kingdom, which consisted of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and you had the northern kingdom, which consisted of Ephraim and the other 9 tribes. You know, it says, and join them. And so the Lord said, you know, when you go out there to prophesy, you're going to take 2 sticks and you're going to write on one of them for Judah and for his companions, and on the other one, you're going to write it on it for Ephraim and his companions. And what you're going to do is you're going to join that stick together as one, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. That's why you always see the main sign that we have out when we go out to speak on the streets is the 12 tribe sign, because that's a commandment from the Lord to us to put that sign up so that people can walk by and read it. Because you've had different people walk by and read it. They read the sign, and then when they don't see their name on it, or they'll see their name on it, they say, that's me. Or if they don't see their name on it, they'll say, well, what about me? Why am I not on that sign? You know, and that opens up a discussion. It says, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Why? Because that's the Lord closing up those breaches, building up the nation of Israel, breaking down that middle wall of partition, getting rid of the enmity and the animosity between the two kingdoms and the two nations, and bringing them back into one fold. See? It says, and the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And that's what we have them out in the camps when we go out to speak. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And that's what's happening right now. That's the gathering that the Lord is grabbing all the Israelites from that he wants of the elect first from around the world by those sticks. They actually see the sticks, and the Lord is gathering them, because we're at the point now where the Lord is going to set back up the kingdom of the nation of Israel, which is the kingdom of his son Yahushua, and we being joint heirs with him. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, which is King Masha, which is King David, and they shall be no more two nations. See? So that's the point. There shall be no more two nations, because there was a point where they were separated into two different nations. But the Lord said they're not going to be two nations anymore. That was the difference between the Jew and the Greek, you know, or the Jew and the Gentile. And that's why I said there's no difference between the Jew and the Gentile. Why? Because they're all Israelites, all 12 tribes. And they
don't get it twisted. A lot of those Israelites that Paul went to, they were Judites and Benjaminites. Okay, so because they said this guy Bubble Eyes, as you call him, Ricard, whatever, Elder Ricard, he said that's talking about the northern tribe. It ain't talking about the northern tribes. Although you had some of the northern tribes over there, it was mainly talking about them Judites after the so-called northern kingdom left. So you understand it, but you don't fully understand it. That's why you still teach that Cornelius is an Israelite, and you still don't understand the breakdown of Romans the 11th chapter. Those were Israelites.
Yeah, to back up Elder Apostle Torah, you had the Hellenized. They were what? Greek-speaking Jews. They were Jews that spoke Greek. Judah, Benjamin,
yeah,
Levi.
But that has nothing to do with those Gentiles.
Yeah, you
had Israelites that were scattered abroad that knew that they were Jews. When you go to Acts, the 2nd chapter, they for the three days out of the year, 3 times out of the year, those were Israelites that knew that they were Israelites that were living in those places that came. They said, okay, we're Israelites. But then you had other Israelites that didn't know.
That's right.
So they stumbled upon it. They ran into one of the disciples or heard the disciples spoke. And then they said, oh, we're part of them. That's what it's talking about. Like the centurion. The centurion whose servant was sick, that was an Israelite, man.
Yeah. He's an Israelite. Yep.
No, it said he was a centurion. That means he's a cracker. Are you out your mind?
Well,
Are you doing LSD?
Yeah, Cornelius was a
Mr. Spicoli, are you doing drugs?
Yeah, right. Cornelius was a centurion.
A centurion was basically a position.
Yeah, position over.
And Jake had those positions, just like Jake in this society, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake, that are lieutenants, colonels, sergeants. You got Jakes that are mayors, senators. Hell, the president is not an Edomite.
Yeah, that's right.
It says, going back to
it's a mystery.
verse 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountain of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, which is King David, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. So that's happening right now. All the tribes are being brought back together. That's why he speaks about in the book of Amos about the tabernacles of David that are fallen, that the Lord has to build up. But prior to him building them up, he has to gather them from among these nations.
Tabernacles of David were all the tribes.
That's right.
It wasn't just Judah.
Right. When David sits on the throne, that means all the tribes are going to be back together.
That's right.
That's what that means. Did that happen? No. Is it getting ready to happen? Yes. All right. I'm gonna read this. You got any closing thoughts? Because I'm gonna get ready to close. All right. I'm gonna just read this. All right. I noticed yesterday, man. It was a live show. Then after that live show, then there was another live show. I said, and I can't watch all of them. So I watch a few, because I'm doing things right. But this is scripture. That's scripture. Anyway, it says this. I'm gonna close on this. It says Psalms 19:2. It says, "Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge." And that's what's happening. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. You're gonna see brothers that's gonna make do live shows. They're doing videos, but they're gonna do live shows in their respective language. All right. Oh wow, that's something else, man. Go ahead, say again.
Yeah, the brothers in LA, the LA camp, the Ancient Days Espanol or Spanish, they do a live show in Spanish.
Check that out. Let me do it again. Psalms 19, verse 2. It says, "Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Therefore, their line is going out through all the earth, thanks to the YouTube, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun." 5, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber and rejoicing as a strong man to run a race. Because this is a circuit. This is a circuit, man. It goes on. Hey, you can do one show on YouTube, right? You can do a live show or a pre-recorded show, and millions of people can watch it. Hell, billions of anybody that has a computer or a laptop or whatever, they can watch the show. So I mean, this is it, man. This is it. See, Esau, man, you should have double think this, man. When you let this thing out, man, you should have made a law saying no black people can deal with the YouTube, man, because everybody's using it as their television stations, right?
Yeah. Like that.
People are actually doing regular shows, man. Yeah. Doing production and all that, regular shows on. But the way this works is, you get a show can just pop up. I got a couple of shows that I did that I got to put up. So the shows are already there, man. They're already on the show, getting ready to be put up. That's right.
Like in slavery, they had a rule: Jake couldn't read the Bible.
That's right. That's right.
So, like you said,
this thing, man, that you can't look. There's nothing that you can do about this thing, man. And we're too sharp for you, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna say shalom. We're gonna close this thing. Shalom. Stay strong. Don't get weak, man.
That's right.
Don't lighten up. Tighten up. And we're in a house cleaning. And I got a show that I'm going to upload that's going to be called GMS Learn How to Be an Asshole. All right? And with that, I'm going to say shalom.